Hi, this is Steffi from Steffi's Beads and Baubles, and I'm finally here with the long-promised Christmas tree tutorial. I got a bit behind because I was gifted from several people all at once with amazing supplies and storage for my studio, and my studio kind of blew up for a little bit. But I'm back, and I've been working on the ornaments to show you, and I've got all the steps set up. But this is the one I'm doing today, and it's on green felt, and I've used green beads to sew it together, and we have blue and red and gold, and I believe I put some silver on there too, and then green is the background. And this is totally up to you. Let me show you some other ones I've done. I happen to like pink and gold, and I used a hologram gold from Cartwright's, a regular gold star, and then a clear pink iridescent over the pink felt. Gives it a beautiful look. My husband requested a gold and silver, so this is gold and silver metallic, a regular gold, not the hologram, on a white felt, which is great starting out because you don't see her stitches white on white. But don't worry about that, because you know what? It's the back and you're learning, and even I don't do perfect stitches after 30 years. And then I kind of layered this star. I put this star backwards. Instead of having it the bump up, I did the bump in and put a sequin in there. This one I did a white and blue with a silver edge, and I used silver lined clear beads for the edging and a blue back. I try to do a complementary back, and this one here I'm pretty proud of. This one I actually layered your ornaments. If you can see that, I layered several sequins to make each ornament. And I will do a tutorial on how to layer sequins, everything from simple to really fancy. I layered them on the bottom as well, and I used a red on the back, and if you can see, a blue felt underneath here. And then this is a pin I made several years ago, turquoise, and I used matching seed beads, but I did use red thread. And I did this on red on the back, and I did a white underneath the front. And then the last one I'm going to show you was a pin I made for last year to go with a green and black shirt I was wearing for Christmas Eve. And I used a gorgeous starburst and then some of these round ones. Now I get a lot of these really neat beads at Cartwright Sequins. I am not affiliated with them in any way. The only reason they know of me is as a customer. But I don't get any money for promoting them, and I don't get any discounts, but their prices are very good, and if you buy their clearance sequins, you can get some good deals. I recently did a haul video, and I highly recommend, if you want to do ornaments, check out Cartwright Sequins. You'll be very pleased. So we're going to do the green tree, and let me show you. If you didn't see the candy cane tutorial, I'll show you how to do these. I'm not going to do a whole ornament. I'm just going to show you how to get started, and then you can go from there. Now, you can start with the brown on the bottom, or whatever color you're going to do on the bottom, or you can start on the top. Leave a space for your star and do the star last if you're going to start up on top, because he kind of gets in your way there. So, and the star is going to be a little loose. I have not been able to get it to tighten up no matter what I do. I suppose you could put a dot of glue if you don't like that, but I don't really think it affects it much. But what you're going to do is you're going to get a cutout, and I do have a video on this. If you don't have any kind of die cutting machine, I use a cookie cutter and a stamp pad, and that's all I do. I stamp the cookie cutter, put it on the felt, and then cut them out. And it takes not that much time. A friend of mine who has a lot of die cuts or dies and cutting machines could not believe I do this by hand. But I do it while I'm watching TV. I'll stamp and cut out a bunch of them at once. And you can do them in any color, like I showed you in the other examples. So once you get your little tree, and it can be any shaped tree. This just happens to be one of my tree cookie cutters, but I've got 5 or 6. You can use any tree cookie cutter, or you can draw one freehand on a piece of cardboard and make your own little template. Or if you go to the craft store, they sell the plastic, the hard plastic you can make stencils or templates out of, and I use that for a lot of my stuff. So get yourself a tree, and I might see if I can list some of these felt cutouts pretty reasonably in my store for you. And I will be putting kits in the store if you want to buy the tree kits. But you really don't need a kit. It's so cheap to make these and so easy. And you're going to take your thread, and I use a good beading thread, which you can get online. Just put beading thread into Google. I get mine on Amazon. These were some spools I got. They're much bigger than this. I used a bit of it. And I got a bunch of spools in a tube. And I don't know the brand name, but it's a nice thick thread. Some beading threads are a little thinner, which is fine for this project because beading thread is much stronger than the thread you sew with. And you're going to take and you're going to pick where you want to start. Now, I don't have any brown sequins out, so we're going to start above the brown. If you were going to do the brown, I would do the brown first, but I just want to show you how you attach. And you're going to pick up a sequin, but what you're going to do, let me put it in my hand. You're going to put it upside down so the cup faces down. And you're going to pick it up, and that'll put the cup facing up. And then you're going to hold on to it and pick up a bead. Now, I use green for the green, and let me pick one up here. Okay, and then you get a bead on there, and you get a bead and a sequin together. I don't know if you can see that. And then you're going to pull it. You can use whatever color. I tend to, when I'm doing a bunch of these, I will get red beads out for the red, blue for the blue, silver for the silver, gold for the gold. But I also can sometimes will use the clear. And also, if you don't have beading trays, Chinette plates are wonderful. And so once you get the seed bead and the sequin on there, kind of move it around to like where you need it to be. Do not go back through the seed bead, just go back through the sequin. And see what will happen is that holds the sequin on. I know this lighting is terrible. I've got to invest in some better lights for my videos. I'm right in front of two big windows, and there's two windows next to me. I hope you can see that okay. I'm standing over my camera. Then you're going to come back up as close as you can get. And then you can put a color if you want. Sometimes I'll put a couple green first. I'll put a couple of the green. And then I'll put a color. There is no, remember, always cup up. And if you get it on there and you made a mistake, you can just turn it upside down and pull it right off. And then I scoot it as close as I can get it to the one in front or the one next to it. So I'll take the needle and put it in the hole. Sometimes it moves around, and I will scooch it over as close as I can get, and then I go back through, making sure I don't go through the seed bead, and then I pull it. And there's two. And then you can pick up a color. Now, if you want to use red seed bead with the red, you can. If you're starting out, you don't have a lot of seed beads, just buy a nice clear seed bead. That works great. Oops, now see the mistake I just made? I'll show you how you get it off. I didn't go back through. So you just take and you slide it to get to the needle, pull the thread down next to the needle, see? And it'll just come right off. You don't have to unthread your needle because that is miserable. Then make sure you go back through the felt before you add the sequin. And then you can add a color like I just did, red, gold, blue. You can do pinks and purples, whatever you like. If you're like me and you have some of those bags of mixed up sequins from old projects, again, scoot it over and put it in. And just keep going. You're just going to keep adding and filling. There's no right way. Sometimes I'll fill in a corner. Sometimes I'll go around the whole piece and then fill it in. There's no right or wrong way to do this. Just keep adding. I always put a couple green, then a color, and a couple, and then just try to watch what you're doing. So if you're using 4 or 5 colors, kind of variate it a little bit so that you're not having like a red right next to a red. Kind of try to mix them up like a gold and a silver or gold silver. There's red, there's blue. And just kind of, you know, and you just want to, you see what I do. I get them encrusted in there really thickly. Now on this one I used red for the red, blue for the blue, green for the green, silver, and gold. But you don't have to. You don't have to do that. You can just use clear if that's all you've got. These can be as detailed or as simple as you want. So once you've got that stage done and you've got the whole front beaded, this is what the back should look like. And see, you can go any direction you want. Then this one's got a smaller star on it. I wanted to show a couple different stars. I bought a bag of stars from, again, Cartwright Sequins. Had all different colors and sizes, so I thought I'd show you maybe a smaller star on this one. So once it's all done, now you got to stitch it together. So you're going to find the other piece of felt. Make sure they're the right direction, because sometimes they're a little different. You see, that one's different. This I got to do it this way. Get them lined up really good. You don't want them to be messed up, so get it lined up really well. Make sure it's lined up all the way around. There you go. Hey, when you're cutting these out, they're not going to be perfect. I'm going to tell you that. Now, what you're going to do to stitch it together, you're going to come in, knot your thread. I put a nice big knot on my thread, and I did that when I started it too. Nice big knot. I knot it and knot it and knot it. Let's see if I can get that knot to show you. I knot it again and again and again. Sometimes I'll get 2 knots and then knot those together. I like a big heavy knot so it doesn't pull through the felt. But then what I do is pick where I'm going to start. Now, I'm going to start here because, again, I would use brown around the brown, but you don't have to. I usually use gold around the top near the star, see? And I use brown at the brown. You don't have to. You can do them all the same color, like this. This one I did white on the bottom and red around the star. This one I did the whole thing in red. So there's no right or wrong. I cannot stress that enough. But once you get your needle threaded and you got your knot, you're going to come pick where you want to start. I'll start here because I don't want to do the brown with the green. And you pull it up and get that knot in between the 2 pieces. Then you're going to go to the back and come through right next to where you had the thread and pull. And you've got to be careful. They will catch on the sequins at times. Now you've got a loop going around. Let me see if I can get that where you can see it. Let me see if taking this light off helps. No, that doesn't help either. Okay. I don't know if you can see, there is a loop there. This lighting is driving me nuts. Okay, can you see that? I've made a loop. Now, I just stuck myself. I'm going to pick up 3 green seed beads to start. And I'm going to pull up 3, trying to get them similar in size, but see, I'm bleeding now. Isn't that great? I get a lot of cuts from sticks doing this. Then I'm going to go back through right about where I was and do the 3 beads. And that's going to make, oh, how come we only got 2 on there? Okay, you get to see me fix a mistake. That's what you do if you make a mistake. This time you do have to take it off the needle. Just pull it out. And if you go a couple stitches, don't worry about it. If you go a couple stitches, you can simply pull out those couple stitches. I still have to do that sometimes when I'm not happy with how something came out. So don't ever beat yourself up. I've been doing this almost 30 years and I still mess them up. Okay, so let's try this again. Let's put 3 seed beads on there. I think I stabbed myself and dropped a bead. Okay, let's do this again. So we're going to go through right about where we went through for the loop. Oh no, look what I did. I'm just on a roll today, aren't I? Oh my goodness. Keeping it real. I guess you can see it doesn't matter how long you do this, you're going to screw up. But I will tell you, it's a lot harder to do this on camera than in just sitting quietly in front of your TV. And that's what I do when I'm watching TV. I just started babysitting our 1-year-old granddaughter. And so while she's playing, in between playing with her and taking care of her, I have a beading project that I work on, and that's how I got, hold on, having trouble getting this thing threaded. I try to have it all prepared for you, and I still mess up. The problem with a project like this is I can't start over without redoing a lot of what I have to do for you because I get all the steps ready. Okay, this time I've got 3. All right. Let's see if we can actually do this. Then you go around right next to where you came through, and you're going to go through the very last bead. So here's the first, second, third, the last one. You're going to go through it. Now careful, because it will catch on the sequins, and then that'll make like a little triangle. Can you see that little triangle there? Little triangle. Now you have 3. From now on you only add 2. So you're going to add 2 beads, and you're going to go as close as you can. Yeah, see, it catches. Go as close as you can, and then you go back through the last bead again. And from there on, for the rest of the edging, you're just every so often pull it tight because it will move. For the rest of the edging, you're going to add 2 as you go all the way around the piece. I'll do one more to show you, and then I'm going to show you how to end it. But first I'm going to show you another step in between. So you're going to you keep going as close as you can. Now do not go through the sequin, because you could go right through one of the sequins and then you're going to have a thread going over the sequin. So try your best to not go through any of the sequins. And you're just going to keep pulling it, and it'll make this nice little triangular edging on it. Let me turn it around. You might be able to see it better from the back. There. Now you keep doing that all the way around. Now, when you get about halfway done, it'll look like this. You'll have, if you do the brown and then the green and then the gold, you get it to about there. If you want to stuff it, which you do not have to, but it's a little bit floppy. So if you want to stuff it, I use the cotton out of Vitamin Bibles. Bibles, I keep saying that. Bottles. I think I'm thinking of the Vitamin Bible that I used to have. But the Vitamin Bottle cotton is fabulous. It's softer than the stuff that comes in the little balls that you buy for your bathroom. And I just take my scissors and I kind of stuff it in there. And I made another video that I said that, and I haven't even published that video because I was so mad at myself for saying Vitamin Bible instead of bottle that I didn't post the video because I didn't catch it till after I finished recording. But and then once you get it stuffed, and if you're uncomfortable, what you can do is you can go around this corner and stuff that. Then you can come up to here and stuff that, and come up to here, because it's kind of hard to do the little edges. So what I will do is I'll go to here and then finish stuffing that. I'll come up to there and finish stuffing that, and then I'll get to here and finish stuffing that. And then when I get it the way I like it, I just get it finished up. Now when you get to the end, you're going to have it's going to look like this. And how do you end it? Well, I'm going to show you. It's real easy. If I can get it untangled. This is something you got to battle. Okay, now if you look, I've got a brown bead here, and then there's another brown bead right here. So all I need to do is add one brown bead to go in the first. I'm in the last bead. I got to go in the first bead I put on. And I'm just going to go through that bead and come out the back. And that will finish the loop. And then I just knot the heck out of it. I go through, and you can always put a smaller needle on to do this part if you want, but I go through it 2 or 3 times this direction. I'll loop it once or twice through like that. And I just knot. I just go through. Now, if you're uncomfortable, you can, and I'll go through the other direction. You can put a dab of glue on there. I never do, and I've never once had one come undone. But I just go through a bunch of times. And once you get that done, the next thing you have to do is either your pin back or loop. Now, the pin backs, you want to do that before you add the back on. And I'll show you real quick. The way you do the pin back, if that's what you choose to do, is before you sew the two together, you just put a knot in the back and you come through this hole and you go down and then around and up and then around and up until you get a bunch of stitches, and then you can knot it off and then go to the next one and go around and keep kind of figure eighting it, tie it off, and then go down to this end and do the same thing. It's that easy. Or simply you can glue it on with fabric or metal glue or E6000. and it'll hold it too. I like the look of the stitch. But if you want a loop, I'll show you how to do the loop real quick. And for the loop, you're going to take, let me see, I've got one. You're going to take and knot it like I've showed you. Knot, 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 knot until you get a nice big knot. But you don't want this big knot to show. So what I do, and this is a little bit more tricky, you want to come out through the top bead. So I'll go in under the sequins and then I'll push the needle until I get it to come out where I want. See how I got it to come up through that bead, and then I'll pull it. And you shouldn't see it. If you pull it through, the sequins will hide it. And then you just simply add your beads. Just add as many beads as you want to your thread until you get the size of loop you want. The average loop I do is 3 inches, so it's a 6-inch hoop. I'll do 3 inches this long, so of course double, that's 6. And it's just adding as many beads as you want to add. I'll put a few more on to show you, but I don't want to make you watch me do the whole loop because there's no reason. And then to knot it, I'll come back through the next bead, which is right here. Once I get all the beads I want on, I'll come back through here and I'll knot it exactly like I did when I finished the piece. Just go around in a loop, in a loop, in a loop. Maybe knot it through a couple times, then go the other direction, and that's really all you do. And as far as the design, there is no set design. Like the candy canes, I had the stripes. This one's just whatever you want to do. And if you don't want to do this tricky of one to start, like it makes you nervous, then do something like this where you can just do one color ornament with your green or your white, or even a silver sequin would be gorgeous with a blue or a red. You know, I did this one, where's the other one I did? Yeah, this one I just did silver with gold, but silver with red or silver with blue would be gorgeous. So you don't have to do it like this if that makes you nervous, but it really is easy. You just randomly put them, and if you looked at this and picked it apart, there's probably a lot of mistakes, but once you get it done, you don't see them. It's just really pretty, and if you look, none of them look the same. They're all a little different, but to glance at them, you don't see it. Here's all 4 that I did for you for this video, and at a glance they look the same, but if you look at them, they're completely different, each one. So anyway, let me give you a little tease. This is the next video I'm going to do for you, and it's going to be a round ornament. And I've got all the different colors in that as well. This is the tutorial I'll be doing, is this little guy here. But I did it in the gold and silver and a blue and that same pink and gold. Anyway, if you have any questions, put them down in the comments. I'm still getting used to teaching. But again, do the whole piece, and at the end leave a little piece at the top to put your star. And you can do any kind of star. If you don't want to do a star, you could just do a large sequin. I did that on this one. But you could do a regular large sequin, because you know you got the, like here's the 8 or 10 millimeter sequins. You could do some like that on top. It's really up to you. It's totally using what you have. So just have fun with it. This was a long video, but there's just no way to do this quickly. And I will be back in a couple days to show you how to make these ornaments here. And I thank you so much. I hope you'll hit the like button if you liked my video. And if you're not a subscriber, I would love it if you would subscribe. I have so many videos. I'm hoping to do, my goal is to do one of these ornaments every week. And I've got a list of way more than the amount of weeks till Christmas of ornaments I want to do for you. And just remember, cookie cutters are your friend. If you have a collection of your grandma's old cookie cutters, they are fabulous for making ornaments. And I've even bought some vintage ornaments that look like somebody did the same thing I did. In fact, I will be sure and show those on my next video. I'll dig them out and show them to you. But just have fun with it. Don't sweat it. Just have fun. Move them around. Do whatever you want. This is a great way to use up some old sequins that you have laying around. Or if you have an old kit that you didn't use. But thank you again, and I'll be back very soon with another ornament, and I've also got a bunch of craft ones for you. Thanks again. Bye.